the Imam and Wilaya
Yes.
and the authority of Ahlul Bayt as a reliable source. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear Sheikh Shomali.
Alaykum assalam
Page
wa
50,
rahmatullah.
page 50 of Lessons on Imama and Wilaya, it stated that they, the Sunnis, cannot dispute the authority of the Ahlul Bayt as a reliable source in both theory and practice, even if it is sometimes disputed in practice. It is accepted at least in theory. So the question is, can you please provide us with examples of how some Sunni scholars dispute the authority of the Ahlul Bayt in practice? What evidence do they use to support their argument? Jazakumullah.
May Allah bless you. Yeah, maybe the phrase is not very clear. I don't know if I explain now so you see if it is understood the same way or not. My idea here was that when it comes to the authority of Ahlul Bayt, our Sunni brothers should not have any hesitation. Why? Because first of all, we have lots of hadith about referring to Ahlul Bayt, like hadith al-Thaqalayn. But even if anyone has doubt about hadith al-Thaqalayn or its interpretation, whatever, at least they should consider them as companions of the Prophet when they believe that all the companions of the Prophet are reliable. So they should believe in the authority of the teachings of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, at least at the level of companions. So theory is clear, and they should have also practiced this. Unfortunately, it seems that in practice this is not always followed. The sad reality is that some great scholars of hadith, they have not narrated the hadith of the Prophet either except very rarely, or even if they have narrated hadith, for example, I don't know, tens of hadith, it's not at the level that they have given importance to other people. I am aware that there are many hadiths from Ahlul Bayt in some Sunni sources, but compared to what they have narrated from other companions of the Prophet is not the same, especially when you compare their knowledge with the knowledge of Ahlul Bayt. You expect that not only they should be equal, it must be many times more. So it's not that they have an argument against Ahlul Bayt. This is why we say practice. It means in theory there is no problem, but in practice this has not, unfortunately, been kept in a consistent way. But at least if today they start doing this and referring to the hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam and recognizing their authority, to be very helpful. We hope that they would recognize Ahlul Bayt at a level higher than other companions. And alhamdulillah, some Sunni brothers and sisters do that. But unfortunately, some just love them, but they don't follow them that much. So I hope this can reach, inshallah, to a point of agreement among all Muslims, that whether we are Shia or Sunni, in our fiqh, in our aqaid, we should take the opinion of Ahlul Bayt very seriously, and we should not bring them even next to the companions, let alone sometimes lower than companions. May Allah bless you.
I think my brother Jihad mentioned last time, probably we might have one session for Q&A, or as the questions increase over time, but inshallah we'll try to handle it in the coming
Inshallah.
sessions.
Since this was a short,
to the
This was a
greetings.
short question, so maybe you can ask one more if you like.
All of them are good questions. I'm shy to say one is better than the other
No,
one.
no, I said short. This was a short question, so you can ask another one.
Short.
No, you ask the next one. It's okay. We can take
Okay,
it.
we will go to a general question in this case. The first one in the general questions, purification of intention. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh Shomali.
Alaikum assalam wa
One of the
rahmatullah.
difficult things I'm learning from KLC within my community,
MashaAllah.
especially for youth. However, when I see myself as a speaker or teacher, I find it very difficult to purify my intention for Allah. I feel that there will always be some desire for respect or admiration from others. So sometimes I prefer to refrain from teaching until I become sure of my intention. How can someone get rid of this feeling in order to purify his intention for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
So this is a very good question, and it's very common. I think I might have mentioned in this issue in some of the lectures, and I think at least once I have mentioned this story from Sheikh Ansari rahmatullah alayh. It is said that Sheikh Ansari said to his talaba, and I think you know Sheikh Murtaza Ansari is one of our greatest scholars, and right now 2 of his books are very much studied in the Hawza, Makasib and Rasail, and he has been a figure that influenced all mujtahideen after him. Sheikh Ansari is said that used to say to his talaba, when it comes to teaching, there is an opportunity to teach. Teach even if it is not for the sake of Allah, or you are not sure it is for the sake of Allah. Teach. Someone wants to learn Quran. Someone wants to learn how to say his salat. Someone wants to learn aqaid. And I can do justice to the subject. Sometimes I cannot do justice to the subject, that's the problem. But I can do justice to the subject, but I'm not sure about my intention. Okay, Sheikh Ansari said, still teach. Because at least the other party would benefit from. If it comes to leading Jama'ah prayer, people ask you to be their imam. Sheikh Ansari was saying, don't accept this unless you are sure about your intention. You cannot lead Jama'ah when your intention is to show off, or for other things. Even if you are in doubt, you cannot become Imam al-Jama'ah. You have to be sure about your intention. And then he used to say, don't accept to be judged even if your intention is sincere. So I repeat, teach even if your intention is not sincere or is not known to be sincere. Lead Salatul Jama'ah if your intention is sincere. Don't accept to become judge even if your intention is sincere. This means that to become a judge is such a big responsibility that you should not volunteer for it. No one should volunteer for judging. Of course, in society, in community, Muslim community, we need some qualified judges. That then it's out of deep sense of taklif and obligation. Otherwise, it's not something that I volunteer. As much as possible, I try to run away from being a judge. And this is why we say to people that, if in Islam we say, according to most of Maraja, Mujtahideen, that women shouldn't become judge, it's a service, it's a favor, because no one wants to become a judge. You have to look at it from Islamic perspective. It's not a privilege that we are depriving. When we say they should not be given the task of judging, it's like saying they should not be asked to take part in jihad because it's risky, it's dangerous. Anyway, Sheikh Ansari, with his wisdom and with his knowledge of fiqh, has mentioned this very beautifully. So, my understanding is this, and Allah knows the best, or Allah knows and we don't know. But my understanding is this, that if you can do justice with the subject, and there is no one better than you to take care of this, you should volunteer yourself for teaching, and at the same time work on your intention. And inshallah, with this barakah that you get by helping people and educating people while you have this concern, this barakah inshallah will help you to become more and more inshallah sincere. But if we don't teach and let some people who are in need remain in ignorance, it's not acceptable. So if you can do justice to the subject and there is no one else to do better, you should volunteer yourself and meanwhile work on your intention, and inshallah this volunteering to teach would help you.